second graders, it's Mrs. Sylvester, and I'm here to help you with your reading today. This is something new that we're doing where a teacher will read the first reading story or passage that is on your Google Slides and learning packet, and then the second reading passage you can work on your own. You may also choose to do the first one on your own and then use this video to reread the story with me and check your work. So let's get started. This story is called Fish Feast, and I jumped ahead. You can do that right now too. And I read the key question so I can have that in my head as I read the passage the first time. The key question says, what makes a person good at solving problems? So I can think about that question myself, but I know that I'm going to be using the text evidence and see what ideas are in the text to answer that key question. And I also see I'll be looking for maybe 4 different things that makes a person good at solving problems, and also any other information we can use from the text to support our answer. So let me jump back to the beginning. Fish Feast. It looks like it might be a fantasy story since these look like mermaids and popcorn. That seems a little odd to have mermaids out of the ocean. Let's see what it's about. Wake up, Sheena, shouts Pixie. Sheena yawns. Then she rubs her eyes. What's the matter? We have a problem. The corn in the center field has started popping. How can we make it stop? Pixie and Sheena are part fish and part people. They can breathe on land. They can breathe underwater. They live in a special dome. The dome is found at the bottom of the ocean. Their job is to grow crops for the others who live with them. Oh no, cries Sheena. I fell asleep. Something is wrong. Let me think of ways to fix this problem. Sheena was able to see center field on her TV. The popcorn was hitting the top of the dome. Maybe it is getting too much water. No, the water level is fine. Maybe the corn seeds are magic seeds. Let me check. No, they are not. Oh, I see what is wrong. I know a creative solution to this problem. Sheena shows Pixie the button that controls how much sunlight reaches the corn. The air in the dome is too hot. It is popping the corn. It works just like a big hot air popper. I can turn the sunlight down. There, see? The popping has stopped. You did it, Sheena. Good job, said Pixie. And I think I know what to do with all of that yummy popcorn. If I tell you, will you help me make a sign? And I also see a special text feature, a little did you know box. So when I read this heading, Fun Facts About Popcorn, it looks like it's not connected to the actual story, but 2 facts, realistic facts about popcorn. Popcorn can pop 3 feet into the air, and the largest popcorn ball weighed 5,000 pounds? That doesn't seem right, but maybe so. Maybe putting a lot of popcorn together to make a big popcorn ball. Okay, let's get back to our actual story. It's fun that we had 2 real facts about popcorn since popcorn is in this fantasy story. Sure, said Sheena. The 2 creatures made a large sign that lit up. They placed it on the outside of the dome. Later that night, a special hole in the dome opened up. Sheena pushed a button and all of the popcorn shot out of the hole. Sheena, Pixie, and their fish friends had fun. They had a popcorn party until the popcorn was all gone. This is a nice problem to have, laughed Sheena. And I see from the illustration the sign that they made says, Fish Feast tonight, all the popcorn you can eat. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that story. And let's think about our key question again. What makes a person good at solving problems? So we have some guidance here that says on our own, we can read that question and then read the story And as I was reading, I was thinking about that question and thinking about any of the details. Now I could stop and think, I know that they had the popcorn popped and that was a problem. And the character had to think about the different ways that could have caused the problem. But a good reader actually goes back into the text to find the text evidence. And I'm going to have to write down 4 things that make a person good at solving problems. Now this looks like I don't need to necessarily write about the characters. It could be more general, but let's go back anyway and see what our characters did when they discovered that they had a problem. So Pixie was the one who discovered it, because I see that she says, "Wake up, Sheena." And Sheena was still sleeping. And the problem was that the corn had started popping in the field. And that was a problem because Pixie and Sheena were in charge of growing the corn as one of the crops for all of the creatures that lived with them. So it says that she's going through different ideas of thinking about what could have caused the problem. I'm rereading right here. This text at the beginning says, maybe it is getting too much water. No, the water level is fine. So as a reader, I can think she must be checking the water level. Then she says, maybe the corn seeds are magic seeds. Let me check. No, they are not. And then she says, oh, I see what is wrong. I know a creative solution to this problem. And they see the button that controls how much sunlight reaches the corn, and they turn the sunlight down. So let me come down to our page, and it says, what makes a person good at solving problems? Well, Pixie first had to notice that there was a problem. So maybe we can write that first. So first, notice when there is a problem. And I can say Pixie saw there was too much corn, or I guess not too much, but she saw that the corn was popping. And that was the problem. And then when she saw that there was a problem, maybe she couldn't have solved it on her own. And I know that she actually went and got help from her friend, Sheena. She says, oh, Sheena, we have a problem. The corn has started popping. How can we make it stop? So I would say that a person would be good at solving a problem by getting help. That could be the next step. Next, get help if you need it. Let me write down what our character said. So Pixie told Sheena about the problem. And then I think that Sheena was the character who was thinking of how to fix it. Let's see, Sheena was able to see center field on her TV. Sheena had to think about, well, what is causing the corn to pop? And she started brainstorming and looking into what could be the problem. So I'm going to say that that would be the third way that a person can be good at solving problems. So third, think of what could be causing the problem. Sheena thought about the water level, and what else did she think about the water level? See, even for me, rereading it over and over, I have to go back. Oh, maybe the corn seeds are magic seeds. Let me check. No, they are not. Sheena thought about the water level and if the seeds were magic. And then finally, she realized that the problem was that there was too much sunlight. So I can say that finally, a person should find the cause and fix it. So just like Sheena and Pixie realized that they could turn there was a button. Let's see. I know a creative solution to this problem. Sheena shows Pixie the button that controls how much sunlight reaches the corn. And they can turn down the sunlight with the button. You did it, Sheena. Good job. So finally, the person should find the cause and fix it. Sheena and Pixie turned down the sunlight button. And I also noticed that a person from this text, a person who can be good at solving a problem, when you have the problem, you don't react in a negative way. Even though they had all that popcorn that popped from the corn, which they did not plan for, they thought of a creative solution to stop that from happening. But then also, what did they do with all the popcorn? They thought, well, let's share it. So I see question 3 says, think about the key question, which is, what makes a person good at solving problems? And let's write our answer using the information we found in the story that we read. So now I can kind of summarize what I wrote all together. Let me just reread one more time how they shared the popcorn at the end. It says, the 2 creatures made a large sign that lit up. They placed it on the outside of the dome. Later that night, a special hole in the dome opened up. Sheena pushed a button and all the popcorn shot out of the hole. Sheena, Pixie, and their fish friends had fun. They had a popcorn party until the popcorn was all gone. This is a nice problem to have, laughed Sheena. Okay, so again, I can say that a person does those 4 steps, but then also thinking about how they can make something good come out of their problem. Usually problems are not something you plan for and could be bad, but thinking about how can you make it into something good. So let me type my response here. So the question says, what makes a person good at solving problems? Let me restate that question in my answer. So a person is good at solving problems when they do these steps. First, they should notice the problem. Next, they should get help if they need it to solve the problem. Then they should think of solutions. So maybe not just one, but having a little brainstorm. And finally, they will fix the problem with a creative solution. And I'm going to write now a sentence about being positive with what to do with the problem. It is good to think of how the problem can be positive after it is fixed. Just like having a popcorn party. Now, I'm sure not every problem can be as positive as that, but still, again, turning it around and thinking about growing from a mistake, perhaps, or at least moving on once you find a solution. I hope you enjoyed that story and, again, enjoyed this practice of going back into the text. I was not counting, but I know I went back several times. I didn't necessarily reread the whole story, but I was able to skim and think about which part of the story really would answer that key question about solving the problem. So remember, a good reader goes back and rereads over and over. That also can help with your fluency. So keep up the great job on your next passage. It is about Earth Day. It looks like it will be more of a nonfiction, informative text about Earth Day. So hopefully you have some good connections there. All right, second graders, keep up your good reading. See you soon.